There is a secret that the few who rise above know well. Those who act as if they have nothing to lose are the ones who gain everything. The world is not withholding from you. Your own fear of loss is the only thing standing in your way. What if I told you that loss is an illusion? That what you hold on to so tightly is not meant to be possessed, but experienced? The man who walks through life afraid to lose will never truly live. But the one who moves boldly, as if the universe itself is his ally, finds that life bends to his will. You must step beyond fear. Fear is nothing more than a shadow cast by a mind clinging to the past or dreading an imagined future. Yet in this very moment you are free. Free to assume the life you desire. Free to act as though nothing stands between you and your vision. Do you wish to be wealthy? Then walk, speak, and think as one who already is. Do you long for love? Then embody the energy of one already loved, already fulfilled. Do you dream of success? Then move through the world as if it is inevitable. And here is the greatest secret. When you no longer fear losing, you become magnetic. Opportunities arise effortlessly. People are drawn to you. Life begins to unfold in ways beyond what you once believed possible. Because the one who fears nothing controls everything. The one who assumes their wish is already fulfilled does not wait, does not chase, does not beg. They simply walk in the certainty that it is done. So I ask you now, will you dare to act as if you have nothing to lose? Will you step forward as though the universe is already conspiring in your favor? Because the moment you do, the moment you let go of fear, you will find that everything you have ever desired was waiting for you to claim it all along. Everything you have ever believed to be yours is, in truth, a passing shadow, an ever-changing reflection of the state of your mind. The idea of loss is a deception, an illusion woven so deeply into human consciousness that most never stop to question it. They clutch to what they believe is theirs: people, possessions, status, fearing that without them they will somehow be diminished. Yet what if you understood that nothing is ever truly lost? What if you knew that all things in life are merely shifting forms, constantly moving through the flow of existence? Consider the river. It never holds on to the water that flows through it, yet it remains a river. The ocean does not fear the receding tide, for it knows that the waves will return. And so it is with your life. The people who enter, the opportunities that appear, the possessions you acquire, none of these are permanent fixtures. They are experiences, moments that arise and dissolve, like waves upon the shore. To grieve their departure is to resist the natural order, to misunderstand the nature of reality itself. If you look back upon your life, you will see that what you once mourned as a loss often led to something greater. The job you were so desperate to keep, the relationship that fell apart, the money that slipped through your fingers. At the time, it may have seemed like a cruel misfortune. But now, standing where you are, can you not see how each apparent loss carved a new path for you? How each door that closed forced you to step into something new, something unforeseen, yet ultimately necessary. The only reason you suffer over loss is that you have falsely identified yourself with the things you believe you own. You say, this is my house, my career, my reputation, my loved one, but in truth you are none of these things. You are not what you own, nor are you what you have lost. The essence of who you are remains unchanged, untouched by the shifting circumstances of the world. When you let go of the illusion that anything external defines you, you also let go of the fear of losing it. Freedom comes when you understand that life is not about accumulation, but about movement. It is not about clinging, but about allowing. What you think you own is simply passing through, like a traveler who stops for a time before continuing their journey. When you resist this truth, when you hold on too tightly, you suffer. You chain yourself to things that were never meant to be possessed, only experienced. There is nothing you have ever truly lost. The relationships that ended, the opportunities that disappeared, the moments that slipped through your grasp, each one served its purpose. They came to teach you, to shape you, to guide you towards something greater. And when their time was done, they moved on, not as a punishment, but as a necessary step in your evolution. What if, instead of mourning what is gone, you embraced the space it left behind? What if, instead of fearing loss, you saw it as a transformation, a clearing for something new? A tree does not grieve when its leaves fall in autumn, nor does it fight to keep them. It simply lets go, knowing that new leaves will grow when the time is right. You are not here to hold on to things, to grasp at fleeting moments. You are here to experience, to expand, to evolve. And each time something leaves your life, it is not an ending but a passage. It is a transition, a shift that is guiding you toward what is meant for you. So release the fear, release the attachment, understand that in this vast, infinite universe, nothing is ever truly lost. It is only transformed, only taking a new shape, only making room for something greater to enter. Fear is the silent architect of limitation, constructing invisible walls around your potential. It whispers doubts, plants hesitation, and convinces you that stepping beyond the known is dangerous. Yet, if you were to pause and truly examine the nature of this fear, you would see that it has no substance of its own. It exists only in your mind, a projection of past experiences, conditioned beliefs, and imagined outcome. It is not the world that restricts you, but your acceptance of these imagined barriers as real. Everything you desire lies just beyond the threshold of fear. The opportunities you dream of, the success you crave, the freedom you long for, all of it is within reach, but only if you dare to step beyond the mental walls you have constructed. Most people live their entire lives confined by these self-imposed limitations. They do not act, not because they are truly incapable, but because they believe they are. They do not chase their dreams, not because they are unreachable, but because they fear failure, rejection, or the unknown. But what is fear truly? It is not a force in the world, not a physical barrier that holds you back. It is a story, a series of thoughts that you have repeated so often they feel real. You were not born afraid. You learned fear. You absorbed it from the world, from experiences that conditioned you to play small, to be cautious, to stay within the lines. And yet, for every person who has lived trapped by fear, there are those who have broken free. Those who have realized that fear is a choice, not a truth. The moment you decide to move despite fear, you strip it of its power. Fear is only paralyzing when you submit to it, when you allow it to dictate your actions. But when you step forward anyway, something remarkable happens. The walls you once saw as impenetrable dissolve. You begin to see that the limits you once believed in were never real to begin with. The job you thought you couldn't apply for, the relationship you feared would fail, the dream you convinced yourself was impossible, all of it was only unattainable because you told yourself it was. Fear is a gatekeeper, and it asks only one question: how badly do you want it? Those who allow fear to stop them remain prisoners of their own minds, never venturing beyond what is safe, predictable, and ordinary. But those who refuse to bow to fear, who push through the discomfort, who act even when their hands tremble, these are the ones who unlock infinite possibilities. They are the ones who discover that the only thing standing between them and the life they desire was a thought, an illusion, a belief that never had to be true. Think of the moments in your life when you were most afraid. Perhaps it was speaking in front of others, taking a risk, or stepping into an unfamiliar situation. Now think of the times when you overcame that fear. Did the world crumble? Did you collapse under the weight of the unknown? Or did you emerge stronger, more confident, more free? Every time you have faced fear, you have proven to yourself that it is powerless once confronted. And yet, each new fear tries to convince you that this time is different. But it is not different. The pattern is always the same. Fear arises, it tries to hold you back, and if you resist it, it fades. Every single time. Imagine if you lived as though fear had no control over you. What would you do? Who would you become? How much more of life would you experience if you no longer allowed fear to dictate your choices? The truth is, you are already free. The walls that confine you were never real. And the moment you decide to release fear, to refuse to let it shape your actions, the world opens up to you in ways you never imagined possible. The greatest secret hidden in plain sight is this: your reality is not something happening to you, it is something happening through you. Every experience, every opportunity, and every challenge you encounter is a reflection of your inner state. Your beliefs, your assumptions, and the way you see yourself in relation to the world. Most people believe they must work tirelessly, struggle endlessly, and prove their worth before success can be theirs. But the truth is far simpler. If you assume success is already yours, reality has no choice but to conform to that assumption. When you walk into a room with absolute confidence, others respond to you differently. When you expect things to go in your favor, you carry yourself in a way that invites positive outcomes. This is not luck or coincidence. It is the law of assumption in action. Your world is a mirror, faithfully reflecting back to you whatever you impress upon it. If you assume wealth, opportunities, and success are already yours, you naturally align your actions, decisions, and mindset to match that assumption. And as you do, the outer world bends to accommodate it. Most people live in reaction to what they see, unaware that they themselves have projected those conditions onto the screen of life. They believe they must wait for proof before they can believe in their success. They tell themselves, I will feel confident once I have achieved something. I will believe in my abundance once I see money in my account. But this is like waiting for a reflection in the mirror to change before altering your expression. It does not work that way. The external follows the internal, not the other way around. The moment you shift your assumption, you shift your world. When you assume success, you stop questioning whether it is possible, whether you are capable, or whether things will work out. Instead, you act from a place of certainty. And this changes everything. You make decisions with confidence. You walk into opportunities as if they were meant for you. You attract the right people, the right circumstances, and the right ideas, because your inner state no longer entertains failure. Look at those who have achieved great things. It is not merely talent, intelligence, or luck that sets them apart. It is their unwavering assumption that success belongs to them. They do not doubt, they do not waver. Even when obstacles arise, they continue forward as if the outcome is inevitable. And because they hold that assumption, reality molds itself around them. Now ask yourself, what are you assuming about your life right now? Are you assuming struggle, lack, and limitation? Or are you assuming abundance, ease, and success? Every assumption you hold is shaping your reality, whether you are aware of it or not. The good news is you can choose to assume something new. You do not need permission, proof, or external validation. You need only to step into the state of already having, already being, already achieving. The greatest shift you can make is to live as though what you desire is already yours. Speak as if it has already happened. Walk as if you are already the person you dream of becoming. Feel the reality of it so deeply that the world has no choice but to reflect it back to you. You do not manifest what you want, you manifest what you assume to be true. If you assume success, success must follow. If you assume failure, failure will meet you at every turn. The power has always been in your hands. The world is simply waiting for you to decide. There is a paradox in life that many fail to see. The more desperately you cling to something, the more it eludes you. The tighter you grasp, the further it slips away. This is true in relationships, in success, in wealth, anything you desire. The moment you make something your source of happiness, your lifeline, or your identity, you create resistance. But when you release that attachment, when you stop needing it to feel complete, something extraordinary happens. The very things you once chased begin to chase you. Why? Because detachment creates magnetism. It signals confidence, self-sufficiency, and a deep knowing that what is meant for you cannot be lost. When you act as if you have nothing to lose, you move through life with an energy that is impossible to ignore. You are no longer driven by desperation, but by inner certainty. And that certainty is the most attractive force in the universe. Think about it. The person who walks into a room without seeking approval, who is completely at ease within themselves, naturally draws others in. The job candidate who approaches an interview with confidence, not anxiety, makes a lasting impression. The entrepreneur who is not afraid to fail, who takes risks without fear of loss, is the one who ultimately succeeds. Why? Because they are not gripping onto the outcome. They are moving with the flow of life, knowing that whatever is meant for them will find its way. Desperation repels. It creates an energy of lack, a signal to the world that you do not believe you already possess what you seek. And when you act from a place of lack, you only receive more lack in return. But detachment, true effortless detachment, signals abundance. It tells the universe, I already have everything within me. If this comes, wonderful. If not, I remain whole. That energy is irresistible. Look at nature. A river does not cling to its water, yet it flows endlessly. The sun does not chase the moon, yet they dance in perfect harmony. The tree does not beg the wind to move its leaves, yet the breeze always comes. There is no force, no strain, only effortless being. This is the state you must adopt in your own life. Let things come and go without grasping. Hold nothing so tightly that its loss would shake you. Because the truth is, nothing external was ever yours to begin with. Everything in this world is passing through. When you understand this, you become free. Does this mean you should not desire? Not at all. Desire is natural. But there is a difference between desiring and needing. Desire is expansive. It propels you forward. Neediness is restrictive. It traps you in fear. When you can want something without being consumed by it, when you can move toward your dreams without making them your identity, you unlock a new level of power. You move with confidence, with ease, with the quiet knowing that what is meant for you cannot miss you. This is why those who embody detachment seem to attract everything effortlessly. They are not burdened by the weight of wanting. They are not frantic in their pursuit. They have already decided deep within that they are enough, with or without the thing they desire. And because of that, life bends in their favor. So ask yourself, what are you holding on to so tightly that it is slipping away? A relationship, a goal, a dream? Release your grip. Act as if you have nothing to lose, and you will find that you gain everything. Move as though you already possess what you seek. Live as though it is already yours. And in doing so, you will become magnetic to all that you desire. The world does not reward hesitation. It does not open doors for those who stand in doubt, questioning their own power. The ones who shape reality, who bend life to their will, are those who move with unwavering certainty. The bold always win, not because they are superior, not because they have more resources or advantages, but because they have decided, deep within, that they will win. This decision alone shifts everything. When you step forward with boldness, unseen forces move in your favor. Opportunities appear where none seem to exist. People respond to you differently, sensing the confidence in your presence. Life itself seems to conspire on your behalf, not because of luck, but because certainty is a force that demands recognition. Most people wait for permission. They wait for signs, for approval, for reassurance that they are on the right path. But the bold do not wait. They move first, and the world adjusts accordingly. Consider how the greatest leaders, innovators, and visionaries have moved through life. They did not wait for conditions to be perfect before they acted. They did not hesitate because of fear or doubt. They stepped forward with an unshakable knowing that success was already theirs. And because they assumed victory, reality had no choice but to meet them at their assumption. Hesitation is a signal to the universe that you are unsure. It creates instability, opening the door for obstacles, delays, and missed opportunities. But when you move with boldness, when you act as if what you seek is already yours, you collapse the waiting period. You eliminate the space for doubt to creep in. You do not need to see the entire path. You need only to take the first step with conviction. And as you do, the next step reveals itself. Imagine two people entering a negotiation. One is timid, hoping they will be taken seriously, unsure of their worth. The other walks in with absolute certainty, already knowing the outcome will be in their favor. Who do you think wins? The one who moves with boldness. Not because they are more deserving, but because they expect to win. Their energy, their presence, their very being commands it. The same principle applies to all areas of life: business, relationships, personal growth. If you approach something with hesitation, the world hesitates in response. If you approach with certainty, the world reflects that certainty back to you. The key is to act as if the outcome is already secured, not to wish, not to hope, but to know, to embody the state of already having, already achieving, already becoming. But boldness does not mean recklessness. It is not about making impulsive decisions or ignoring wisdom. It is about moving forward with a deep inner conviction, unshaken by temporary setbacks. The bold do not let fear dictate their actions. They understand that fear is an illusion, a barrier that only exists if they choose to acknowledge it, and so they move past it, knowing that fear dissolves the moment they refuse to entertain it. So many people live their lives in hesitation, waiting for a sign that it is safe to act. But the truth is, the sign comes after the action. The confirmation appears after the decision is made. Life responds to movement. The moment you commit fully, unseen forces align to support you. The resources, the people, the circumstances, they all begin to shift in ways you could not have predicted. But none of it happens until you move first. Ask yourself, where in your life have you been waiting when you should be moving? What dreams have you placed on hold because you are waiting for the right moment? The right moment is now. It has always been now. Step forward boldly. Move as if success is inevitable. Act as though the world has no choice but to give you what you seek. Because when you do, it won't have a choice. The bold always win. Your life is not happening to you, it is happening through you. Every experience, every opportunity, every challenge you face is a reflection of the story you tell yourself. Most people live as if they are mere passengers in their own lives, reacting to circumstances, blaming fate, and believing they have no control. But the truth is, you are the creator. The script of your life is written by your thoughts, your beliefs, and the assumptions you hold about yourself and the world. If you wish to change your reality, you must begin by changing the story you tell yourself. Look at your life right now, everything in it. The good, the bad, the extraordinary, the mundane is the result of what you have accepted as true. The way you see yourself, the way you believe the world treats you, the expectations you hold, these are not passive thoughts, they are the very foundation upon which your reality is built. If you tell yourself you are unlucky, life will provide evidence to confirm it. If you tell yourself you are powerful, life will rearrange itself to reflect that power. You may argue that circumstances are beyond your control, that life is unpredictable, and that external forces determine your fate. But even this belief is part of the story you have chosen to accept. And as long as you accept it, it will remain true for you. The moment you shift your perspective, the moment you decide to see yourself as the creator, reality will begin to reshape itself accordingly. The world is a mirror, faithfully reflecting back whatever you assume to be true. If you expect difficulty, you will encounter obstacles. If you expect ease, doors will open where you once saw walls. This is not wishful thinking, it is the very nature of existence. Your assumptions create your experience, and your unwavering belief cements it into reality. What would happen if you began to tell yourself a new story? If you decided that life was unfolding in your favor, that success was inevitable, that you were worthy of everything you desire? What if, instead of doubting, you assumed that what you wanted was already yours? Reality would have no choice but to reflect that new assumption. This is the power of unwavering belief. When you act as if your vision is already real, when you carry yourself with the confidence of someone who knows rather than someone who hopes, everything shifts. The people around you respond differently. Opportunities appear effortlessly. What once seemed impossible becomes inevitable. But you must be consistent. Doubt is the great destroyer of creation. The moment you question, the moment you waver, you disrupt the process. Imagine planting a seed and then digging it up every day to check if it is growing. It never has a chance to take root. Your beliefs work the same way. If you declare yourself successful but then immediately worry about failure, you cancel out your own creation. You must commit fully, without hesitation. The great secret is this: life does not respond to wishful thinking, it responds to certainty. You must move as if your desire is already fact. You must embody the version of yourself who already has what you seek. Speak, act, and think from that place, and the world will reshape itself to match your assumption. Most people wait for evidence before they believe, but the Creator does the opposite. They believe first and the evidence follows. This is how reality bends. It does not happen through force or struggle, but through inner transformation. Change your assumption, and everything external will shift to align with it. What story are you telling yourself? Is it one of power, abundance, and certainty? Or is it one of limitation, fear, and doubt? You hold the pen, you are the author, and at any moment you can rewrite the narrative. Decide now that you are worthy. Decide now that life bends in your favor. Hold that belief without wavering, and watch as the world molds itself to your vision. Everything you seek is already within you. The reality you experience is not dictated by external forces, but by the story you choose to tell yourself. Fear is an illusion, loss is transformation, and assumption is the power that shapes your world. When you act as if you have nothing to lose, when you move with boldness, the universe responds in kind. The moment you detach, you become magnetic. The moment you assume victory, life rushes to confirm it. There is a secret known to those who have shaped their realities effortlessly. It is the art of speaking, not with words alone, but with the deep, undeniable language of being. When you wish to communicate with the universe, you do not beg, you do not plead, and you do not ask from a place of lack. Instead, you declare, you assume, you live from the end. Everything in existence responds to your inner world. The moment you embody the feeling of your desire as already fulfilled, the universe has no choice but to conform. Speak in the language of certainty. Instead of saying, I wish for wealth, dwell in the knowing, I am wealth. Instead of pleading for love, embody the feeling of being deeply cherished. Your imagination is your direct line to creation. When you close your eyes and vividly experience your ideal life, when you feel it is real, you are sending a command. The universe does not argue with conviction, it obeys. Most people block their manifestations because they cling to time and method. They wonder, when will it happen? How will it come? But those who understand the truth know that the how is never their concern. Your task is only to remain in the state of fulfillment, unwavering. The most powerful prayer is not spoken aloud. It is a state of being. Live in the vibration of your answered prayer. Speak to the universe by embodying your desires, and it will echo them back to you. You are not separate from what you seek. You are the creator, and your reality bends to the story you tell yourself. Choose wisely. What you assume to be true, with conviction and feeling, becomes the framework upon which your reality is built. Every moment, whether consciously or unconsciously, you are in conversation with the universe, shaping your experiences through the assumptions you hold. The universe does not respond to idle words, nor does it react to fleeting desires. Instead, it aligns with the deep-seated beliefs you carry, the thoughts you return to over and over, and the emotions that fuel them. Assumption is not mere wishful thinking. It is not a casual hope or an empty affirmation spoken without belief. It is the unseen force that molds your life. For what you truly assume to be real, you will see reflected back to you in the world. Look around at your current circumstances. They are the direct result of the assumptions you have held in the past. If you believe that success is difficult, that struggle is necessary, or that love is elusive, then those beliefs shape your experiences. If, however, you assume that life unfolds in your favor, that opportunities come easily, and that you are deeply valued and loved, then that reality must manifest. The universe does not argue with you. It simply mirrors back what you persistently accept as true. This is why so many people feel trapped in cycles they cannot seem to escape, because they continue to assume the same things, reinforcing the same experiences. They say, "I always struggle financially," and so they do. They declare, "People always disappoint me," and so they are disappointed. They believe, "I never get what I want," and so their desires remain just out of reach. But the moment you shift your assumption, you shift your world. Assume, even in the face of contrary evidence, that you are already the person you wish to be. Assume that you are already abundant, that love is already yours, that life is already working in your favor. The key is to hold this assumption with certainty, to embody it fully, to make it feel as natural as the air you breathe. When you do this, the universe has no choice but to rearrange itself in accordance with your new state of being. There is no need to force anything. You do not beg or struggle to make things happen. You do not need to chase after your desires, hoping that something outside of you will grant them. Instead, you quietly assume them to be real, as if they were already accomplished. Your assumption, when deeply felt, is the seed that must bloom into reality. Doubt is the only thing that can delay your manifestation. The moment you entertain thoughts of what if it doesn't happen, you waver between two opposing assumptions, the desire and the fear. And the universe, ever obedient, reflects both back to you in confusion, causing delays and inconsistencies. This is why unwavering faith is necessary. Not blind faith in something external, but faith in your own creative power, in your ability to assume and expect with certainty. You do not need proof before you believe. Belief is what creates the proof. People often say, "I'll believe it when I see it," but in truth, you will see it when you believe it. Assumption precedes reality. Every great achievement, every success, every breakthrough first existed in someone's mind as an assumption before it materialized. The artist assumes the completion of their masterpiece before they paint the first stroke. The inventor assumes the success of their creation before it exists. The wealthy person assumes abundance before the riches arrive. Begin now. Assume the feeling of already being, already having, already living the life you desire. Let that feeling become familiar, second nature, as though it were the only reality you have ever known. Speak it silently to yourself. Walk through life as though your assumption were already fact. Do not waver, do not doubt, and do not allow appearances to shake your belief. When assumption becomes your reality in consciousness, it must become your reality in the physical world. This is the unbreakable law. The universe does not resist, it does not question, it simply reflects. Speak in the language of assumption and watch as your world transforms before your eyes. Your emotions are the bridge between the unseen and the physical world. Every thought you hold, every belief you entertain is powered by the energy of feeling. Without feeling, thoughts are empty. powerless, incapable of bringing about change. But when thought is infused with emotion, when it is felt with deep conviction, it becomes alive, carrying the force necessary to shape reality. The universe does not respond to words alone, nor does it react to mere wishes. It responds to the vibration of your being, the feeling state you dwell in most often. Many people believe they must ask repeatedly, beg, or work tirelessly to manifest their desires. But the truth is far simpler. You do not need to plead, you only need to feel. If you can generate the emotion of already having what you desire, the universe must reflect that reality back to you. Feeling is the language of creation. When you embody the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you align yourself with the very essence of that experience. The world around you begins to shift, rearrange, and conform to match the energy you are transmitting. Most people approach their desires with a sense of lack. They think about what they want, but they feel the absence of it. They long for love, but feel lonely. They wish for abundance, but feel the weight of financial struggle. They dream of success, but carry within them the fear of failure. And so, the universe mirrors back to them not their words, not their surface-level desires, but the deep feeling of lack they continue to dwell in. To change your reality, you must first change your internal state. Instead of wanting something and reinforcing the feeling that it is missing, shift your focus to the sensation of already having it. Close your eyes and immerse yourself in the experience. What would it feel like to be deeply loved, to have financial freedom, to be living your dream life? Let the joy, the peace, and the gratitude fill your body as if the event had already happened. When you do this, you are speaking the most powerful language the universe understands. Children do this effortlessly. When they play, they fully immerse themselves in the world of their imagination. A child who pretends to be a superhero does not just say the words. They feel the power, the excitement, the confidence of being one, and in that moment, to them, it is real. This is the key to manifestation. You must live in the state of already having, already being, already experiencing your desire. The universe is neutral. It simply responds to the signals you send. If you feel abundant, you will attract abundance. If you feel loved, you will receive love. If you feel worthy of success, doors will open effortlessly for you. But if you allow yourself to dwell in fear, doubt, or unworthiness, those too will be reflected in your reality. Many people struggle with this because they believe they must see evidence before they can feel the emotion. But this is backward. Feeling comes first and reality follows. You must practice living in the feeling of your desired outcome before it arrives. This is not pretending. It is embodying the state of being that magnetizes your desire to you. One of the most powerful ways to do this is through gratitude. Gratitude instantly shifts your focus from lack to fulfillment. When you feel grateful, you acknowledge that you already have what you need, and this opens the door for more to flow into your life. Even before your desire materializes, give thanks as though it is already yours. Feel the excitement, the relief, the joy of knowing it is done. Doubt and impatience are the greatest disruptors of your emotions. Are your compass. They tell you whether you are in alignment with your desires cannot resist back into the in a world where you feel light, joyful, and certain that you are on the right path. They beg and chase after their desires. When you desperation, adjust when you one steadfast, the universe is always your wish knows always responding. Manifestation becomes inevitable. The universe does not respond to struggle. Choose wisely, nor does it answer and watch your world transform. It moves in accordance with your state of being, with the quiet certainty that what you seek is already yours. Pleading carries the energy of lack. When you beg for something, whether from a person, a situation, or the universe itself, you are declaring that you do not have it. You reinforce the very absence of what you desire. You send out a signal of neediness, and because the universe mirrors your state of being, it continues to reflect back more lack, more waiting, more struggle. Begging, even in prayer, is an admission of powerlessness. It is an acknowledgement of separation between you and your desire. But the truth is, there is no separation. What you seek is not outside of you, it is within you, waiting to be realized. Silence, on the other hand, is the language of those who know. It is the state of complete trust, of unshakable faith. When you communicate in silence, you do not ask, you do not plead, you assume. You rest in the deep awareness that your desire is already fulfilled. There is no need to announce it, no need to seek validation, no need to convince anyone, not even yourself. You simply know. This knowing, when deeply felt, is the most powerful force in existence. Consider the difference between a person who constantly talks about their goals, seeking reassurance from others, and the one who moves in quiet confidence, knowing their success is inevitable. The one who talks, begs, and over-explains is revealing their doubt, their insecurity, their need for external confirmation. But the one who remains silent, who holds their vision within and moves with certainty, is the one who truly possesses their desire. They do not chase because they understand that what is theirs will come naturally. This is the secret of creation. The less you fight, the less you beg, the less you struggle, the faster things move in your favor. When you remain still, mentally, emotionally, and physically, you allow the universe to do its work. You become like the calm surface of a lake, reflecting only what you choose to see, rather than the stormy waters of desperation that distort and repel what you want. Silence is not passive. It is not about doing nothing or waiting idly for something to happen. Silence is active in its depth. It is the embodiment of complete alignment with your desire. When you are truly in the state of having, there is nothing left to say. You do not need to tell the world. You do not need to justify yourself. You do not need to convince anyone. You simply live as though it is already done. This is why those who master silence often seem to receive their desires effortlessly. They do not engage in the noise of doubt, fear, or external validation. They do not allow their energy to be scattered by unnecessary words. Instead, they speak to the universe in the quiet, unwavering language of certainty. Imagine two people wanting the same thing. One begs for it daily, constantly checking, hoping and waiting. The other, in contrast, claims it in silence, knowing that it is already theirs, feeling it with every fiber of their being. The first remains in a state of longing, reinforcing the absence of their desire. The second lives in the assumption of fulfillment, drawing it to them with ease. The difference is not in their words, but in their state of being. There is immense strength in silence. When you stop asking, stop begging, stop explaining, and instead stand firm in the inner conviction that your desire is already yours, you shift everything in your favor. You communicate with the universe in its purest language, the language of knowing. And in this knowing, all things must align to match your inner state. Let go of the need to plead. Speak less, assume more. Rest in silence and watch as your world transforms effortlessly before you. The universe does not differentiate between what is real and what is imagined. It responds only to the impressions you hold within, the images you persistently entertain in your mind. Your imagination is not just a fleeting daydream or a tool for creative play. It is your direct line to the unseen forces shaping your reality. What you repeatedly envision with feeling becomes the blueprint for your life, the foundation upon which your experiences are built. The key to mastering this power is consistency. Many people imagine their desires for a few moments, only to fall back into doubt, fear, or negative thinking. They allow their old mental patterns to take over, undoing the work of their imagination. But the ones who persist, who hold their vision unwaveringly, regardless of external appearances, are the ones who see their desires materialize. If you use this power effectively, you must engage all your senses. When you imagine, do not merely see the image, step into it. Feel the emotions you would feel if your desire were already fulfilled. Hear the sounds, smell the scents, and immerse yourself in the experience as if it were happening now. The more real it feels to you, the faster it becomes real in your world. Children do this effortlessly. When they play, they fully embody their imagined world. A child who pretends to be a pilot does not question whether they are flying, they simply are. They feel the wind, hear the roar of the engine, and experience the joy of soaring through the sky. This is the secret to powerful manifestation. To imagine with such conviction that there is no doubt, no separation between what is imagined and what is real. Many of the greatest minds in history understood this truth. They saw possibilities before others could. They held visions of a future that seemed impossible, and because they believed in those visions more than their present circumstances, they brought them into reality. The same principle applies to you. Your imagination is your direct connection to the infinite possibilities that exist beyond what you can see. When you use it deliberately, you take control of your destiny. Do not let your imagination be ruled by fear or limitation. Guard the images you hold in your mind, for they are shaping your future. Replace thoughts of doubt with thoughts of certainty. Replace images of failure with images of success, and persist in this new vision until it becomes your reality. The universe does not distinguish between what is imagined and what is real. It simply responds. What you choose to imagine today is creating the life you will step into tomorrow. Use this power wisely, and you will see the world reshape itself according to the vision you hold within. Gratitude is the language of completion, the signal that what you desire is already yours. When you express gratitude, not for something you hope will come, but for something you know is already done, you align yourself with the reality where your desire exists. This is the secret that so many overlook. They believe they must wait to feel gratitude until after they receive. But the truth is the opposite. It is gratitude that brings your desires into form, for it signals to the universe that there is nothing more to seek, nothing more to chase. It tells creation itself that you are already in possession of what you once longed for. Most people live in a state of wanting. They look at their lives and see what is missing. They pray for more money, more love, more opportunities, yet their prayers are laced with lack. They focus on the absence of what they seek rather than the reality of its presence. They do not realize that their feelings of unfulfillment are creating more unfulfillment. They believe that gratitude is a response to receiving, when in truth it is the cause. Gratitude is the bridge between the unseen and the seen, between the imagined and the manifested. It is the vibration of completion, the state of mind that signals to the universe that your desire is no longer something in the future. It is here now. And because the universe mirrors your state of being, it must make that truth visible in your physical world. Imagine someone who constantly complains about their circumstances, always speaking of what they lack, always feeling the weight of unfulfilled desires. No matter what they receive, they remain in a state of dissatisfaction, always waiting for something more to make them happy. They do not realize that their very state of being is blocking the flow of abundance. The universe cannot give more to one who does not recognize what they already have. Now imagine another person who, regardless of their circumstances, walks in gratitude. They speak as if they already have what they seek. They wake up each morning with the quiet confidence that everything they desire is already unfolding perfectly. They do not beg, they do not worry, they do not chase. Instead, they give thanks. And because they live in this vibration, life continues to give them more to be grateful for. This is the shift that changes everything. When you stop speaking in terms of if and when, and start speaking in terms of now, you unlock the doors that once seemed closed. Instead of saying, I hope I get this, you say, I am so grateful that this is already mine. Instead of feeling anxious about when it will come, you feel peace, knowing it is done. This shift in awareness is what draws it to you effortlessly. Gratitude is not about forcing yourself to be happy with less. It is about recognizing that you are never truly lacking. It is about understanding that the moment you claim something in consciousness, it is already yours in the unseen. Your only task is to align yourself with it so that it can appear before you. When you express gratitude for what you have not yet physically received, you are not pretending. You are acknowledging a deeper truth. the truth that all things exist in potential, waiting for you to align with them. You are stepping into the version of yourself who already has what they desire, and because you are already in that state, the universe has no choice but to reflect it back to you. This is why those who live in gratitude seem to attract abundance effortlessly. They do not demand, they do not struggle, they give thanks, and in doing so, they shift into a reality where they already have everything they need. They unlock doors that others cannot see, simply because they recognize that the doors were never truly closed to begin with. So do not wait, do not postpone gratitude for some future moment when everything is perfect. Speak in gratitude now, feel it now. Let every word, every thought, every breath be an expression of thanks. Walk as if There is a law, as certain as the rising of the sun, that what you give out must return to you. The universe is not forgetful, nor is it blind. It has seen your efforts, your unwavering belief, your silent prayers in the night. What is owed to you must come, not by chance, not by luck, but by divine order. We look at the world and mistake it for something solid, something fixed. But I tell you, nothing is set in stone except your own assumptions. The reality you experience today is merely a reflection of the thoughts you held yesterday. If you have planted seeds of faith, kindness, and vision, the harvest must come. It is law. But here is where most people fail. They look around, see nothing changing, and doubt. And in their doubt, they plant weeds where their dreams were meant to grow. The wise do not concern themselves with the how or the when. They rest in the knowing that the moment they assumed their desire fulfilled, it was set into motion. The universe owes you nothing less than the fulfillment of your truest belief. You have been patient, you have trusted, and now the tide must turn in your favor. Your only task is to remain faithful to the vision, to refuse to let your current circumstances dictate your fate. I say to you, let go of desperation. Release the need to chase. The repayment is already set, the balance already adjusted in your favor. There is no need to force what is naturally coming. Feel it now, live in the end, and watch as the universe delivers all that is rightfully yours. And when it comes, do not be surprised, simply smile, for you knew all along. The world you see before you is not separate from you. It is a direct reflection of the thoughts you hold most dominantly in your mind. Every experience, every circumstance, and every event unfolding in your life is shaped by the nature of your inner world. If you wish to change what you see externally, you must first shift the reality you entertain internally. Most people believe that life happens to them, that they are mere spectators in a world governed by forces outside of their control. But this is a grand illusion. The truth is that life is responding to you at every moment. The thoughts you dwell upon, the emotions you consistently feel, and the assumptions you hold about yourself and the world are being mirrored back to you in the form of your reality. The universe is not arbitrary in its design. It is governed by a precise and unbreakable law. That law states that what you assume to be true with feeling and persistence must externalize itself in your world. Look at your life as it is right now. The people you interact with, the opportunities you receive, the challenges you face, all of it is a direct projection of the thoughts you have accepted as true. If you habitually focus on lack, believing that there is never enough, whether it be love, money, or success, the universe has no choice but to confirm your assumption. It is not punishing you, nor is it withholding anything from you. It is merely reflecting what you have already accepted as fact. If instead you were to shift your inner dialogue, to cultivate the belief that abundance is your birthright, that life is conspiring in your favor, you would begin to see evidence of this truth unfold, effortlessly. Your mind is the master architect, and your reality is the blueprint it follows. Every thought you entertain is a seed, And with enough repetition, that seed will take root and grow into tangible experience. When you persistently assume something to be true, whether in faith or in fear, you set a powerful force into motion. This force does not operate based on logic or external conditions. It moves according to the nature of your belief. Consider a person who constantly fears betrayal in relationships. Even if they are surrounded by trustworthy individuals, their deep-seated belief in deception will lead them to interpret innocent actions as signs of dishonesty. Over time, their assumptions will shape their behavior, creating an atmosphere of doubt and insecurity. Eventually, they will find themselves in situations where their fears are confirmed, not because betrayal was inevitable, but because their unwavering belief in it caused them to unconsciously attract and create circumstances that validated their assumption. On the other hand, someone who holds the belief that life is filled with love and kindness will naturally move through the world with an open heart. They will radiate an energy that draws supportive, uplifting experiences to them. Their perception will filter out negativity, allowing them to see the good in others and in their circumstances. The universe, responding to their inner conviction, will reflect this back to them in the form of fulfilling relationships and abundant opportunities. The key is understanding that your dominant mental state determines what you experience. The universe does not respond to fleeting thoughts or wishful thinking. It responds to what you persistently assume and feel to be true. This is why many struggle with manifesting their desires. They may speak words of success, but deep inside they harbor doubts and fears. It is not their spoken words, but their deeply held beliefs that dictate what shows up in their lives. To shift your reality, you must become a guardian of your thoughts. You must deliberately choose the beliefs you wish to hold, rather than allowing old patterns of fear and limitation to control you. Begin by observing your internal dialogue. What stories are you telling yourself daily? Do they empower you or keep you bound to the same experiences? When a negative thought arises, do not fight it or resist it. Instead, replace it with one that aligns with the reality you wish to create. Imagine yourself already living in the fulfillment of your desire. Feel the emotions of success, love, and abundance as if they are already yours. Dwell in that state of being, and soon the universe will have no choice but to reflect that back to you. Do not look to the outer world for proof before you believe. Believe first and the proof will come. This is the way reality works. It is not about luck, effort, or external conditions. It is about the state of consciousness you choose to occupy. You are never a victim of circumstances. You are the creator, shaping your reality in every moment through the power of your thoughts. The question is not whether the universe will respond to you. It already is. The real question is, what are you instructing it to bring into your life? Nothing in this universe goes unnoticed, and nothing is ever lost. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, and every action you take sends out an energy that must return to you in some form. This is the law of compensation, an unbreakable principle woven into the fabric of existence. It is neither a reward nor a punishment. It is simply the unfolding of cause and effect. What you put into the world, whether seen or unseen, must find its way back to you. Many believe that life is unfair, that effort often goes unnoticed, and that kindness is sometimes repaid with cruelty. But this is only because they are measuring results by the limitations of time. The universe does not operate on human schedules. It does not rush, nor does it delay. It moves in perfect harmony, responding precisely to the seeds that have been planted. If a farmer sows a seed, he does not stand over it in frustration, demanding that it sprout instantly. He understands that nature has its own rhythm, and in due time the seed will break through the soil and bear fruit. The same is true for the seeds of thought and action that you plant daily. Many wonder why their desires take time to manifest. They assume that their prayers or efforts have gone unanswered, but they fail to see the deeper workings of the law. Nothing is denied, only prepared. If you have sown seeds of abundance, love, and faith, They are already taking root beneath the surface. They are growing in unseen ways, aligning circumstances and shifting events to bring about their fulfillment. But if you give up too soon, if you doubt before the harvest, you uproot the very seeds you have planted. The universe does not withhold, it only mirrors. If you persist in a state of lack, believing that you must struggle for every gain, life will continue to reflect that struggle back to you. But if you hold the conviction that all your efforts, all your faith, and all your giving must return to you multiplied, then that is precisely what you will experience. The law of compensation does not fail. It cannot. It is as certain as the rising of the sun. You may not always see the immediate effects of your thoughts and actions, but they are always in motion. Just as ripples spread across the water long after the stone has been thrown, so too does the energy you send out continue to shape your reality. This is why it is crucial to guard your thoughts, to be mindful of what you dwell upon, and to act in alignment with the results you wish to receive. There is no such thing as an insignificant thought or an unimportant action. Every moment is an opportunity to plant the seeds of your future. Some people believe they can take shortcuts, that they can deceive, manipulate, or take from others without consequence. But the law is absolute. Whatever is taken unjustly will be lost in equal measure. Whatever is gained without integrity will eventually dissolve. The universe does not allow imbalance. If you have given generously, if you have acted with honesty and sincerity, your reward is certain. It may not come in the way you expect or in the time you desire, but it will come in the form that is most fitting to the seeds you have sown. If you want love, give love freely without expectation. If you want abundance, cultivate a mindset of generosity. If you desire success, commit yourself fully to your vision without hesitation. The universe is not responding to your words alone. It is responding to the energy behind them. You cannot simply ask for abundance while living in fear of lack. You cannot seek love while harboring resentment. The law of compensation ensures that what you truly believe, not just what you say, is what will return to you. Trust in this law. Know that every effort, every moment of faith, and every act of kindness is accumulating. There is no wasted energy, no unnoticed deed. What is rightfully yours is making its way to you. Stay firm in your knowing, remain unwavering in your belief, and allow the law to work as it always has. Perfectly, without fail, desires do not arise by chance. They are not fleeting whims or meaningless thoughts passing through your mind. When a desire is deeply felt, when it stirs something within you that will not be silenced, it is more than just a wish, it is a promise. It is the universe revealing to you what is already yours, waiting to be claimed. The longing in your heart is not a trick of the mind, it is a divine contract, an agreement made between you and the unseen forces that shape reality. But for this contract to be fulfilled, you must uphold your path, you must align your inner state with the reality of your desire. Many believe that their desires are distant, that they exist somewhere outside of them, waiting to be chased, fought for, or earned. But this is an illusion. Everything you seek, everything you long for already exists in the unseen realm. The only thing that determines whether you will experience it is the state of consciousness you dwell in. If you hold the desire but also entertain doubts, fears, and beliefs in limitation, you create resistance. You delay what is rightfully yours because you have not yet fully accepted it as a certainty. The universe does not tease you with desires that cannot be realized. If something is deeply placed upon your heart, it is because it is meant for you. The question is not whether it can be yours, but whether you will allow yourself to receive it. To do so, you must match the inner state of someone who already has what they seek. You must think, feel, and act in harmony with the reality of fulfillment, rather than the reality of longing. This is where most struggle. They believe that desire alone is enough, but they fail to recognize the importance of inner alignment. They wish for love, but remain in a state of loneliness. They long for wealth, but entertain thoughts of lack. They seek success but dwell in the belief that they are unworthy. In doing so, they unknowingly push their desires further away, for the universe does not respond to mere wanting, it responds to being. To claim what is yours, you must embody the state of having. You must assume with unwavering faith that what you desire is already on its way, not because you hope for it, but because you know it to be true. When you walk in this knowing, when you cease to question whether it will come and instead move as though it is inevitable, you shift your entire reality. The invisible forces that govern existence begin to align circumstances, people, and events in your favor. Doubt is the only thing that stands in your way. The moment you question whether your desire will manifest, you create distance. The moment you seek validation from the outside world before believing in your inner vision, you weaken the process. True creation does not begin in the external, it begins in the unseen. You must trust the process even when there is no visible evidence. You must remain unwavering even when reality appears unchanged. Those who understand this principle do not wait for proof. They do not look to their current circumstances for confirmation. They know that their inner world dictates the outer world, not the other way around. They hold their vision with confidence, refusing to entertain doubt. And in doing so, they allow the universe to deliver exactly what was promised. If something calls to you, if it stirs a fire in your soul, it is not there to torment you. It is not placed within you only to remain unfulfilled. It is your reality waiting to be recognized. The only thing left for you to do is step into the version of yourself that already has it. The universe has already said yes. The only question is, will you? Time is an illusion when it comes to the fulfillment of your desires. What you perceive as waiting is often just a reflection of your inner resistance. The universe is not withholding anything from you, it is responding to your state of being. If you believe that what you seek is far away, it will remain so. But if you embody the knowing that it is already yours, the illusion of time collapses, and what once seemed distant moves toward you with speed and certainty. Patience is not about passively waiting. It is about maintaining unwavering faith. Many misunderstand patience as simply enduring the delay, but true patience is a deep inner knowing, a quiet confidence that what is desired is already unfolding. It is the ability to stand firm in the conviction that all things are being arranged in perfect order, even when no visible evidence appears. When you wait in frustration, doubt, or anxiety, you stretch time. You send a signal to the universe that you do not fully trust in the process, and so the reflection you receive is one of delay. But when you relax into certainty, when you release the need to force, chase, or control, time bends in your favor. Think of the moments in your life when things seem to fall into place effortlessly. It was never during times of stress or desperation. It was when you were in a state of flow, detached from the outcome, trusting that all was well. This is the secret to collapsing time, moving from a state of wanting to a state of knowing. The moment you stop seeking something as though it is missing, and instead assume that it is already done, you enter the state of fulfillment. And in that state, the universe has no choice but to reflect it back to you. Many struggle because they believe that waiting means doing nothing. But the most powerful thing you can do while you wait is to live as though you already have what you desire. Not in pretense, not in forced optimism, but in genuine faith. Faith is not merely hoping. It is being so sure of the outcome that doubt is no longer part of your reality. It is walking in the certainty that what you seek is already set in motion, already making its way to you. The more deeply you can feel this truth, the faster it materializes. Frustration is a sign that you are placing too much focus on the absence of what you desire. It is a signal that your attention is rooted in lack rather than fulfillment. The moment you shift your focus from "why isn't it here yet" to "I know it is already mine," everything begins to move. The shift may seem subtle, but its effects are profound. Imagine someone planting a seed in the ground. The wise gardener does not dig it up each day in impatience, demanding to see progress. He trusts that nature is working, that the roots are forming, that the seed will break through the soil in due time. If he were to disturb it, doubt it, or try to force it, he would only hinder its growth. Your desires work the same way. They need your trust, not your worry. The more you can live in the energy of already having, the more you accelerate the process. Those who master this art find that things begin to happen suddenly. What once seemed impossible falls into place effortlessly. This is not luck or coincidence, it is alignment. The universe is not making you wait to test you or to withhold from you, it is simply responding to your inner state. Align yourself with the feeling of already having, and time will cease to be an obstacle. The truth is, you are not waiting for your desires are waiting for you. They are waiting for you to release resistance, to stop measuring time, to let go of desperation, and to fully embody the version of yourself that already possesses what you seek. When you do this, you will see how quickly the universe moves to deliver what has always been yours. What you see before you is not permanent. The circumstances you experience today are not a life sentence, nor are they a true reflection of your potential. Reality is fluid, always changing, always molding itself to the state of your consciousness. The mistake most people make is believing that what they see in the outer world defines what is possible for them. But the universe does not work according to logic or physical evidence. It responds only to your inner state. If you shift your mind, your reality must follow. Most people remain trapped in undesirable circumstances because they believe what their senses tell them. They look at their bank account and assume lack. They observe their relationships and accept loneliness. They experience setbacks and conclude that success is out of reach. But all of these are merely reflections of past assumptions. They are echoes of old thoughts, old beliefs, old states of being. To remain fixated on them is to keep recreating the same cycle. The key to transformation is to understand that your external world is nothing more than a projection of your internal world. Change within, and the outside must conform. It is easy to fall into the trap of thinking that logic dictates what is possible. The world teaches you that success requires years of struggle, that love is rare, that wealth belongs only to a select few. But these are merely collective beliefs, not universal truths. The universe does not operate based on human logic. It operates on consciousness. The moment you decide that your present circumstances do not define you, you open the door to a new reality. The moment you stop reacting to what is and start assuming what will be, the world around you begins to shift. Consider the stories of those who have risen from nothing, the people who went from failure to success, from poverty to wealth, from obscurity to greatness. What do they all have in common? It was not luck, nor was it mere hard work. It was a shift in consciousness. They stopped accepting their present conditions as truth. They saw beyond what was in front of them and held a vision of something greater. And because they persisted in that vision, the outer world had no choice but to rearrange itself to match their new state of being. This is the secret that most never grasp. Reality is not fixed. It does not have to make sense. What seems impossible today can be inevitable tomorrow if you assume it to be so. Your mind is the only thing that dictates the flow of your life. If you can hold a belief, if you can truly feel it as real, then the universe will conspire to make it so. But if you continue to identify with lack, struggle, and limitation, then those will be the only things reflected back to you. The greatest mistake you can make is to let your current circumstances define your future. Your job is not to fix the outside world. Your job is to shift your inner world. The moment you stop arguing for your limitations, the moment you stop reaffirming what you do not want, and instead begin to assume the feeling of already having what you desire, you step into a new reality. This is not wishful thinking, it is the foundation of creation. Everything you now experience was once a thought, a belief, an assumption. If you want something different, you must think, believe, and assume something different. The universe does not delay, it does not withhold, it simply responds. And when you finally accept that your present circumstances do not matter, that they are nothing more than a reflection of your past state, you free yourself to create the life you truly desire. Let go of what is, focus on what will be, live in the feeling of already having, and watch as the world bends to meet your new reality. Gratitude is the key that unlocks the doors of swift manifestation. When you embody the feeling of gratitude, not for what is on its way, but as though it has already arrived, you send a powerful signal to the universe. You declare that you are no longer waiting, no longer doubting, no longer hoping. Instead, you are living in the certainty that your desire is already yours. And because the universe mirrors your inner state, it rushes to confirm your assumption. Most people believe gratitude should come after receiving. They think, I'll be grateful when I get the job, the money, the relationship. But this is backward. Gratitude is not a reaction, it is a cause. It is a force that draws in more of what you are grateful for. When you feel gratitude before seeing the physical manifestation, you align yourself with the reality where your desire already exists. You collapse time, you dissolve resistance, you step into the state where the universe has no choice but to reflect your assumption back to you. The energy of gratitude is pure certainty. It carries no doubt, no worry, no lack. It does not plead or wish. It knows. And this is why it is so powerful. When you focus on something with deep gratitude, you multiply it. If you are grateful for abundance, abundance increases. If you are grateful for love, love expands. If you are grateful for opportunities, they appear effortlessly. The universe responds not to your words but to your state of being, and gratitude is the highest state of receiving. Many struggle with manifestation because they unknowingly dwell in lack. They affirm their desires while secretly believing they are far away. They visualize their dreams but feel the absence of them. They hope but they do not know. This keeps their desires in the future, always just out of reach. But the moment you shift into gratitude, the moment you act as though you already possess what you seek, the energy shifts instantly. The waiting ends, the delay dissolves, the universe moves. Think of a time when things seemed to unfold effortlessly for you. You were not chasing, not forcing, not doubting. You were simply in flow, feeling good, appreciating life, and suddenly opportunities appeared. People showed up, everything aligned. This was not a coincidence, it was the power of gratitude in action. When you are grateful, you are in a state of allowing. You are not resisting, not questioning, not blocking. You are receiving. And when you receive with gratitude, you receive more. Some believe they have nothing to be grateful for. They look at their current reality and see only lack. But gratitude is not about what is. It is about what is becoming. Even in the darkest moments, there is something to appreciate. The air you breathe, the lessons you've learned, the unseen forces working in your favor. When you begin to focus on what is good, no matter how small, you shift your vibration, and that shift is what creates transformation. The practice of gratitude does not require grand gestures. It requires only a decision to feel now as you would feel if your desire had already arrived, to wake up with the energy of fulfillment, to walk through the day with a quiet knowing, to end the night feeling deeply blessed. When you live this way, the universe aligns to match your state. You will notice doors opening, synchronicities increasing, manifestations unfolding faster than before. Gratitude is the secret to swift manifestation because it removes the illusion of separation. It bridges the gap between where you are and where you want to be. It shifts you from waiting to receiving, from wanting to having. And the moment you embody this truth, the universe hastens to confirm it. Do you not see it, the great shift that has already begun? The miracle you have been waiting for is not a distant hope. It is a present reality waiting for your recognition. The moment you align your inner world with the certainty of your blessing, it rushes toward you like an unstoppable tide. You have been conditioned to believe in struggle, in waiting, in hoping from a place of lack. But I tell you now, the moment you assume that your miracle is done, the unseen forces of creation begin their work. There is no need to beg, no need to chase. Simply know. Take a moment now and see yourself already in possession of that which you desire. Feel the joy, the relief, the excitement as though it is happening now. Can you sense it? This is the secret. This is the key. You are not separate from your blessing. It is already yours. There is no force outside of you withholding it. The only barrier has ever been your own doubt. But today, right now, let that doubt dissolve. Stand firm in the unshakable knowing that a divine orchestration is at work. What is meant for you is on its way. Do not ask how, do not ask when. These questions belong to the mind, but your miracle is born in the unseen. Trust that the path is unfolding perfectly, even if you cannot yet see it. Hold fast to the vision, walk in the certainty of the fulfilled desire, and reality must conform to your inner world. And when it comes, because it will come, remember this moment. Remember that you did not receive by effort, but by alignment, by faith, by knowing. A great miracle is here for you. Are you ready to receive it? The life you are living today is nothing more than the sum of your assumptions. Whether you realize it or not, every event, every encounter, and every circumstance has emerged from the unseen world of your beliefs. You are not at the mercy of chance, nor are you bound by conditions outside of yourself. Your world is simply reflecting back to you the contents of your imagination. What you deeply assume to be true about yourself, about others, and about life itself must, by law, take shape in your external world. This is not a philosophy of mere wishful thinking, but a principle as exact as the law of gravity. The moment you accept something in your imagination as fact, it sets unseen forces into motion, shaping reality to mirror your inner conviction. The miracle you seek, the change you long for, is not something to be earned or struggled for. It is something to be realized. Everything you have ever received, whether desired or undesired, came to you because in some way you assumed its possibility. Perhaps it was a conscious expectation, or perhaps it was an unconscious acceptance formed by repeated thoughts and emotions. The mind is always impressing upon the unseen, sending forth its assumptions like seeds into the fertile soil of creation. And just as the earth must return to you the harvest of whatever was planted, life must bring forth the fruit of your dominant state of being. You do not need to force reality to change, you need only to change your assumption, for it is assumption that shapes your experience. The world you see is not separate from you, but is an extension of your consciousness, a mirror reflecting back the impressions you hold as true. If you wish to see a new reflection, you must first change what you are imagining to be true within. Let us take an example. A person who constantly assumes lack, who believes that money is scarce and that success is reserved for others, will continue to experience financial struggle no matter how hard they work. Their efforts will always lead them back to the reality their mind has already accepted. And yet, if that same person were to shift their inner conversation, if they were to persistently assume that abundance is already theirs, life would begin to reconfigure itself to make that assumption true. The opportunities, the ideas, and the circumstances that once seemed so distant would begin to appear effortlessly, not because of external luck, but because their inner world had changed first. The process is simple, yet the mind, conditioned by years of external observation, often resists. It looks at present circumstances and declares them to be real, forgetting that they are only the result of past assumptions. The key to transformation is to no longer give power to what you see, but to give power to what you believe. To accept in your imagination the reality you wish to experience, even if there is no physical proof of its existence yet. The greatest mistake is to look at your present situation and allow it to dictate what you will assume. If you desire a miracle in your life, you must first become the one who already possesses it, in consciousness. You must not wait for evidence to believe. You must believe before the evidence appears. This is the bridge between the unseen and the seen, the means by which the invisible becomes tangible. Doubt is the only thing that delays your manifestation. If you waver between belief and disbelief, between trust and fear, you create a state of limbo where reality does not know what to reflect back to you. But when you assume something with unwavering conviction, when you persist in that assumption, regardless of what your senses tell you, you will find yourself walking into a world that has transformed to match your inner state. This is why you must become highly aware of what you are assuming in every moment. Are you assuming things will get worse? Are you assuming that love is hard to find? Are you assuming that your dreams are far away? If so, you are unknowingly creating barriers where none exist. But the instant you shift your inner dialogue, the instant you begin to assume that your desires are already fulfilled, the entire universe conspires to make it true. Do not wait for permission from the outside world to believe in your miracle. Do not look at circumstances for validation. Instead, turn within. See yourself already in possession of what you seek. Feel the joy of having received it. Walk through your days with the confidence of one who knows their desire is inevitable. This is not self-deception. This is the highest form of truth. For what you accept in imagination is far more real than what your senses currently show you. If you can grasp this, if you can truly live in the conviction that your assumptions create reality, you will never again wonder when your miracle will come. You will know it is already done. It is not a matter of if but when, and the speed at which it appears is only dependent on the depth of your belief. So right now in this moment, assume that what you desire is already yours. Feel it deeply. Let the truth of it settle in your being. Carry that assumption with you, not just for a fleeting second, but as a living reality in your mind. And soon you will watch as the world bends to reflect it back to you, bringing with it the miracle you always knew was yours. Faith is the unseen force that shapes reality. It is the invisible bridge between where you are and where you desire to be. It does not require proof, nor does it depend on circumstances. It simply is. Faith asks nothing more than for you to believe, to walk forward as though the path is already laid, even when your senses argue otherwise. It is the ability to stand in the middle of uncertainty and declare with absolute conviction that what you seek is already yours. People wait for evidence before they believe. They look to the world around them for confirmation before they accept something as possible. They want to see money in their account before they believe in their wealth. They want to hear words of love before they believe they are cherished. They want to receive opportunities before they believe success is theirs. But this is not how creation works. The seen world is only a reflection of the unseen world. And faith is the key that unlocks that unseen realm. To live by faith means to act as though your blessing is already yours. It means to move, think, and feel in alignment with the reality you desire, even when there is no physical proof. This is not self-deception. It is the highest form of creation. You are not ignoring reality, you are shaping it. The moment you accept something in your mind as true, the unseen forces of life begin to mold and shift to bring it into physical form. Faith does not require effort in the way the world teaches. It does not require struggle, nor does it demand constant action. It requires knowing. The moment you believe something fully, without doubt, it must manifest. This is because reality has no choice but to reflect back to you the state you persist in assuming. Your world is not happening to you, it is happening through you. You have exactly what you think you have, and without having thought, it has not happened. Think of the way a seed grows in the darkness of the soil. You do not dig it up every day to see if it is sprouting. You trust that the unseen process is unfolding. You water it, you nourish it, and you allow time to do its work. The same is true of faith. When you plant the seed of belief, you must not waver. You must not uproot it with doubt, questioning whether or not it will grow. Instead, you must trust that what you have accepted in the unseen will soon be made visible. This is why those who walk in faith experience miracles. They are not waiting for something external to change before they believe. They are moving as though it is already done. And because they know it is done, the unseen aligns to make it so. The greatest shifts in life happen when you stop waiting for proof and start being the version of yourself who already has what you desire. The world will tell you to be realistic, to acknowledge the facts, to rely on logic and reason. But logic is only based on the past, on what has already been observed. Faith, on the other hand, transcends time. It sees beyond the limitations of the present moment and calls forth a new reality. It does not concern itself with appearances. It concerns itself with truth. The truth that all things are possible when you believe. Doubt is the only thing that delays your blessing. If you waver between belief and disbelief, between faith and fear, you create resistance. But when you stand firm in your knowing, when you refuse to be shaken by circumstances, you become a magnet for what you desire. The unseen world is always responding to the state of your mind. The stronger your faith, the faster your reality shifts. Do not be discouraged if things do not change immediately. Faith is not about instant gratification, it is about unwavering certainty. The moment you decide that something is already yours, life begins to move in ways beyond your comprehension to bring it to you. Sometimes this means rearranging people, circumstances, and events in a way that takes time. But time is irrelevant when you truly know. Those who master faith are not concerned with when, they are only concerned with knowing. You must embody this certainty in every aspect of your life. If you desire love, walk as though you are already loved. If you desire abundance, move through the world with the confidence of one who is already wealthy. If you desire health, speak and act as though your body is already whole. Do not wait for the world to change. Change yourself first, and the world must follow. There is a reason why miracles seem to happen for those who expect them. They are not surprised when blessings arrive because they already saw them in their mind's eye. They already accepted them as true. The unseen was more real to them than the seen, and so the seen had no choice but to conform. This is the great secret. Faith is not something to be practiced occasionally, it is a way of life. It is the foundation upon which all manifestations rest. If you desire something, assume it is already yours, and move through your days with the unwavering conviction that it is done. Speak as though it is done, feel as though it is done, dwell in the joy of already having received, and soon the unseen will take form before your very eyes. The moment you make this shift, you will see how effortlessly life unfolds for you. Doors will open where none seem to exist. People will come into your life in ways you could not have planned. Circumstances will align in your favor, not because you forced them to, but because you aligned yourself with the reality of already having what you desire. Faith is not about waiting, it is about being. Be the person who already has the blessing. Walk in the certainty that it is already done. And when you do, the unseen will take form in your world, revealing to you what was always yours. Most people spend their lives trying to figure out how their desires will manifest. They analyze, strategize, and overthink, believing that if they can just control the process, they will achieve what they seek. But this is the very thing that blocks their blessings. The moment you focus on the how, you introduce resistance. You step out of the creative state and into a state of doubt. Miracles do not happen through control, they happen through surrender. The secret is to let go of how and focus entirely on the end result. To live in the end means to assume with absolute certainty that what you desire is already yours. It means to feel the joy, gratitude, and fulfillment of having received it. even before there is any physical evidence. When you do this, you activate the unseen forces that shape reality. You become a magnet for your desires, effortlessly drawing them into your life. The mistake most people make is trying to dictate how things should unfold. They want to control every step, every circumstance, every detail. But the how is not your responsibility. Your only job is to dwell in the feeling of already having what you seek. Think of planting a seed. When you place it in the soil, you do not dig it up every day to see if it is growing. You do not worry about how the roots will form, how the stem will break through the ground, or how the leaves will appear. You simply trust that the process is taking place. You water it, give it sunlight, and allow nature to do its work. The same is true for manifestation. Your desire is the seed, and your belief is the nourishment that allows it to grow. The moment you start worrying about how it will happen, you disrupt the process. You interfere with the unseen forces that are already working to bring your desire to life. Many people believe that letting go of the how means doing nothing, but this is not true. It means acting from a place of faith rather than fear. It means moving through your life with confidence, knowing that everything is unfolding perfectly. When you truly accept that your desire is already yours, you will find yourself naturally guided toward the right actions. You will receive sudden inspiration, meet the right people, or stumble upon unexpected opportunities. These are not coincidences. They are the result of aligning yourself with the end result. The universe is far more intelligent than the human mind. It can orchestrate events in ways that you could never predict. When you try to force the how, you limit yourself to what you already know. But when you surrender, you open yourself up to infinite possibilities. Your desire could come through a path you never imagined, through a person you have never met, or through an opportunity that seems to appear out of nowhere. This is why you must release control. The more you try to manipulate the process, the more you block the very thing you are trying to receive. Letting go of the how requires trust. It requires you to step beyond your current circumstances and embrace the unknown. It requires you to see beyond appearances and recognize that the unseen is more real than the seen. When you fully trust that your desire is already yours, you no longer feel the need to question how it will happen. You no longer worry, doubt, or second-guess yourself. Instead, you move through your days with an unshakable knowing. This is where miracles happen. Miracles are not random events. They are the natural outcome of unwavering belief. They occur when you release resistance and allow the unseen forces to shape your reality. The reason miracles seem rare is that most people do not trust enough to let go. They are too attached to their own plans, their own timelines, and their own methods. But those who master the art of surrender experience miracles daily. They understand that their role is not to force, but to receive. If you find yourself obsessing over how your desire will manifest, take a step back. Remind yourself that the how is not your job. Instead, shift your focus back to the end result. Imagine in vivid detail what it feels like to already have what you want. Feel the excitement, the peace, the gratitude. Live in that feeling as often as possible. When doubts arise, do not entertain them. Simply return to the state of having already received. The more you practice this, the more effortless manifestation becomes. You will notice that things start aligning in ways you could never have planned. People will say the right words, doors will open at the perfect moment, and circumstances will shift in your favor. This is not luck, it is the direct result of your faith. You are no longer trying to control reality, you are allowing it to flow to you. Think about the greatest moments in your life. Did they come through endless struggle, or did they arrive effortlessly, almost as if by magic? Most people find that their biggest blessings came when they least expected them, when they had finally let go. This is because surrender creates space for miracles. When you release the need to control, you allow the highest, most perfect outcome to unfold. Your only task is to dwell in the end result, to see yourself already in possession of your desire, to feel the joy of already having received. Everything else will take care of itself. The more you trust this process, the faster your reality shifts. What once seemed impossible will become inevitable. And when you look back, you will realize that the how never mattered. It was always about your belief. Let go, trust. Know that your miracle is already unfolding. There are moments in life when it feels as though our prayers go unanswered, as though the universe has forgotten us. We ask, we believe, and yet the physical evidence of our desires seems absent. It is in these moments that doubt creeps in, whispering that perhaps what we seek is not meant for us, that perhaps we have been denied. But this is the greatest illusion of all. A delay is not a denial. The moment you align yourself with the certainty of your blessing, it is set in motion. Nothing can prevent it from reaching you, except your own doubt. The human mind is impatient. It wants things to happen instantly, on its own timeline. It expects the outer world to conform to its demands without understanding that there are unseen forces at work, rearranging circumstances, aligning people, and orchestrating events in perfect harmony. What you seek is not just about you. It involves a grand unfolding, a precise sequence of events that must align. Just because you cannot see the movement does not mean it is not happening. Imagine a seed beneath the soil. For days, even weeks, there is no visible sign of growth. But beneath the surface, the roots are forming, the foundation is being established. The moment you give up, the moment you stop believing, you uproot what was already growing. There is no force in the universe that can keep what is yours away from you, except your own resistance. Every doubt, every moment of frustration, every complaint that it is taking too long only serves to push your blessing further away. But when you trust, when you remain unwavering in your faith, you allow the unseen to do its work. You remain in alignment with the very thing you desire. It is never a question of if it will happen, but when. The greatest mistake people make is allowing time to shake their faith. They look at the clock, at the calendar, at the weeks or months passing, and they assume nothing is happening. But time is an illusion. The universe does not work according to human schedules. It does not conform to deadlines or expectations. It moves in perfect harmony in divine timing. And divine timing is never late, it is always precise. If something has not yet appeared in your reality, it is not because you have been denied. It is because either you are still preparing to receive it, or the external conditions are still aligning. You may believe you are ready, but are you? Have you truly become the version of yourself who has what you desire? Have you released all fear, all doubt, all limitation? Have you fully embodied the feeling of already possessing your blessing? If there is even a trace of resistance within you, the delay is not a punishment. It is an opportunity. An opportunity to refine your faith, to deepen your belief, to strengthen your ability to hold the blessing once it arrives. Think about the things you once desperately wanted but did not receive immediately. When they finally came, were they not at the perfect time? Were you not in a better place to appreciate them, to handle them, to truly enjoy them? This is the wisdom of delay. It ensures that you receive what you desire when you are truly ready. It ensures that you are not given a blessing too soon, only to squander it. But there is something else, something even more powerful. The moment you truly let go of time, the moment you stop watching the clock and fully embrace the knowing that your blessing is already yours, you collapse the delay. The more relaxed you are, the faster things manifest. The more you trust, the quicker the unseen becomes seen. When you remain firm in your belief, time bends in your favor. You may think you are waiting for your desire, but in truth, your desire is waiting for you. Tony, waiting for you to be in perfect alignment. Waiting for you to let go of worry. Waiting for you to step fully into the state of receiving. The only way you can miss what is meant for you is if you convince yourself it is not coming. The moment you waver, the moment you give in to fear, you push it away. But the moment you return to certainty, the moment you remind yourself that what is yours cannot miss you, you allow it to flow effortlessly into your life. The waiting is only difficult when you resist it, when you embrace it, when you trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. The process becomes effortless. So do not let time shake you. Do not let delay deceive you. What is meant for you is already yours. It is not lost, it is not withheld, and it is not denied. The only thing required of you is unwavering faith, to believe even when there is no sign, to trust even when the evidence is absent, to know with absolute certainty that what you seek is already moving toward you. And one day, without warning, when you least expect it, it will arrive. You will look back and realize it was never a delay at all. It was simply preparation. It was always meant to happen exactly as it did. And in that moment, you will understand that you were never waiting, you were simply aligning. The world you see around you is not separate from you. It is not something happening to you, but something happening through you. Every circumstance, every event, and every encounter is a direct reflection of your inner state. This is why true change does not begin in the outside world, it begins within. Before you can experience abundance, love, or divine intervention in your external life, you must first hold an unwavering belief in these things within yourself. Inner conviction always precedes outer change. People attempt to fix their external world without addressing the source, their internal state. They chase after money while believing in scarcity. They long for love while feeling unworthy. They seek miracles while doubting their very possibility. And then they wonder why their efforts seem futile. The answer is simple. The outer world can only reflect what is already present in the inner world. If you want to experience a shift in your life, you must first shift your belief. You must decide deeply, unwaveringly, that what you desire is already unfolding for you. This is where most people falter. They believe only when they see proof. They wait for circumstances to change before allowing themselves to feel abundant, loved, or blessed. But this is backwards. The world does not give you evidence first. It mirrors your assumptions. The moment you accept something as true within yourself, the world has no choice but to arrange itself to match that truth. You do not wait for proof. You become the proof. Think of the person who, despite all odds, believes with absolute certainty that they will succeed. They carry themselves with confidence, they move with assurance, and the world bends to their conviction. Opportunities seem to find them. People are drawn to their energy. Doors open where none existed before. This is not coincidence. This is the power of inner conviction. The world has no choice but to conform to their self-concept. Now consider the person who doubts, who second-guesses, who hesitates in uncertainty. They may wish for success, but they do not truly believe in it. They approach life timidly, unsure, fearful, and the world reflects this uncertainty right back to them. Missed opportunities, setbacks, and struggles. The outer world only confirms what they already believe about themselves. So if you desire abundance, you must not wait for money to appear before feeling wealthy. You must embody the feeling of wealth first. Walk as though you are already abundant. Speak as though prosperity is your natural state. Let your actions and emotions align with the belief that you are already provided for. The moment this becomes your inner truth, the world will reflect it back to you in ways you could not have imagined. If you desire love, do not wait for another person to validate your worth. Cultivate love within yourself first. Carry yourself with the energy of someone deeply cherished and adored. Treat yourself as someone who is already loved, not as someone waiting to be chosen. The moment you hold this conviction, love will appear in your life, not because you chased it, but because you became a match for it. If you seek divine intervention, do not wait for a sign. The very act of waiting implies doubt, and doubt creates resistance. Instead, move with the absolute knowing that divine forces are already working in your favor. Speak as though miracles are unfolding. Act as though you are already being guided. Trust that every delay, every closed door, and every redirection is part of a greater plan designed specifically for you. When you hold this inner certainty, divine intervention becomes undeniable. The challenge is that the physical world often lags behind the inner world. There may be a period where nothing seems to change. where circumstances remain the same despite your new belief. This is where most people lose faith. They assume their conviction was meaningless, that nothing is happening. But this is a test of persistence. The world is simply catching up to the new reality you have declared. If you abandon your belief too soon, you return to your old state, and the world mirrors that right back to you. Hold firm in your conviction, no matter what. Even when nothing appears to change, remain steady. Even when the evidence is absent, persist in your assumption. Reality must shift. It has no choice. The only question is whether you will sustain your belief long enough to witness the change. This is the secret to every great transformation. The people who seem to live extraordinary lives are not lucky or chosen. They simply hold an inner conviction that most people do not. They decide who they are, what they have, and what they experience, and they refuse to waver. They do not wait for the world to prove it to them. They embody it first, and the world follows. You must do the same. Do not wait for abundance to prove itself. Declare that you are already abundant. Do not wait for love to find you. Know that you are already loved. Do not wait for miracles. Live as though divine intervention is already unfolding. Let this conviction settle deep within you, unshakable and absolute. The world cannot help but mirror it back to you. Your inner world is the blueprint for your outer experience. Change your conviction, and you change your reality. The power has always been within you. Gratitude is the key that unlocks the floodgates of abundance. It is not merely a polite gesture or a fleeting emotion. It is a powerful force that seals the miracle already set in motion. When you live in a state of deep and unwavering gratitude, you align yourself with the frequency of your desire. You are no longer hoping, no longer doubting, no longer waiting. Instead, you are knowing that what you seek is already yours, knowing that the universe has heard and answered, knowing that the unseen is only moments away from becoming seen. People think they must wait for their desires to materialize before they can feel grateful. They believe that once the money arrives, once the relationship blossoms, once the opportunity presents itself, then and only then will they express gratitude. But this is backwards. Gratitude is not a reaction to blessings, it is the cause of them. When you feel grateful before your desire has taken shape in the physical world, you send out the undeniable signal that you already have it. And because your inner world creates your outer world, that feeling must be reflected back to you in tangible form. Imagine a person who desperately wants wealth but constantly complains about their financial situation. They dwell in thoughts of lack, frustration, and limitation. Even when they receive a small blessing, an unexpected gift, an opportunity, a moment of financial relief, they barely acknowledge it before returning to their complaints. This person unknowingly repels wealth because their focus is on what they lack rather than what they have. Consider a person who has the same financial struggles but chooses a different approach. Instead of fixating on what is missing, they cultivate a deep sense of gratitude for every dollar they possess. They appreciate the roof over their head, the food on their table, the opportunities yet to come. They feel abundant even before their circumstances change. And because they embody the energy of abundance, more abundance must flow to them. This is not wishful thinking, it is law. The universe magnifies whatever you focus on, and gratitude ensures that your focus remains on abundance rather than lack. The same principle applies to every area of life. If you seek love but your heart is filled with loneliness, self-pity, or resentment, you will continue to experience relationships that reflect those emotions. But if you choose to be grateful for the love already present in your life, the love of friends, family, even the love you give yourself, you shift your vibration. You become a magnet for deeper, more fulfilling love because you have already tuned yourself to that frequency. Gratitude is also the antidote to doubt. When you give thanks for something, you confirm its reality. You are no longer questioning whether your miracle is on its way. You are acknowledging that it is already here. You do not need to see it with your physical eyes to know it is real. You trust that it is unfolding perfectly in divine timing, and you remain steadfast in your appreciation. This unwavering gratitude acts as a seal, ensuring that your manifestation cannot slip away. Many people struggle with maintaining faith when they do not yet see evidence of their desire. They waver, they question, they grow impatient. But gratitude eliminates impatience because it places you in the feeling of already having received. When you truly feel grateful, you no longer worry about when or how your miracle will appear. You know it is done. You do not rush a gift you already hold in your hands. You savor it, you rejoice in it, you celebrate it. This is why gratitude multiplies blessings. The more you appreciate what you have, whether seen or unseen, the more you attract things to be grateful for. It is an energetic expansion. A thankful heart sends out a powerful signal. I am abundant. I am blessed. I am loved. I am provided for. And the universe responds by bringing you more experiences that confirm this truth. The most powerful way to use gratitude is to make it a daily practice. Do not reserve it only for special occasions or major breakthroughs. Train yourself to live in a constant state of appreciation. Upon waking, give thanks for the day ahead. Before sleeping, reflect on the blessings of the day. Throughout your day, find moments to pause and acknowledge the goodness that surrounds you, the warmth of the sun, the kindness of a stranger, the breath in your lungs. The more you appreciate, the more you receive. Give thanks for the things that have not yet materialized. Speak words of gratitude as if your desire is already here. If you are seeking financial abundance, say thank you for the wealth flowing into my life. If you are manifesting love, say, I am so grateful for the deep, fulfilling love that surrounds me. If you are calling in healing, say, I give thanks for my vibrant health and well-being. Feel the gratitude deeply, as though your miracle has already arrived, and it must become your reality.